here at Vino in Menlo Park, and I'm joined today by Giurlani, the founder of Vino, as well as Brian Caselden, who is a partner and winemaker of Woodside Vineyards, and Bob Mullen, who has been with Woodside Vineyards for quite a while as a founder of the company. 50th year, wow. So there's a lot to share. This is an amazing place. Let's start perhaps with the wine and talking about the wine. Woodside Vineyards has been around for how long, Bob?
Actually, I started making wine in 1960, but we got our license in '63.
Okay.
So in September, we'll celebrate our 50th anniversary.
Now, Buff, you mentioned something, though, about the vineyards being a little older.
Right. We have one of the vineyards, there's a wine in front of you called La Cuesta. And it was brought over and planted in 1884 from Chateau Margaux. It was the Rixford Winery, a famous one. Bob, why don't you say you know more of the history?
I just spent half a day there yesterday with the writer from Sommelier magazine.
Nice.
And so I'm kind of up on the history. And Buff's right. A gentleman named Emmett Rixford, who was an attorney in San Francisco, bought the property in '83 and planted the grapes in '84. He said from cuttings he brought over from Margaux and farmed it. He and his sons farmed it and made wine there for up until Prohibition. And unfortunately, Emmett Rixford died during Prohibition, and his sons took over after that, but never succeeded very well, and so they sold the property for subdivision. Happily, a few families kept the grapes on their property. They divided into 1-acre parcels, and so a lot of people kept the half-acre grapes on their property. And we still farm 2 of those, and that's what we make. On a year when the grapes ripen properly, we'll make just 50 cases of La Cuesta wine. And the way it's been going lately, that's only about every 3rd year. Other years we blend it in with our estate cab.
So how many acres of vineyards do you have? They're all in Woodside then, or?
We've expanded recently. At one time, they were all in Woodside. We're actually taking care of 36 properties right now.
Wow.
The furthest one away is in Saratoga, but almost all of them are in Woodside and Portola Valley.
Great. So, Buff, how did you get involved in this? It seems like you're a car guy. When did you become a wine guy?
I had to come up with a name for the cars, and I didn't like the names of classic car storage or anything like that. And a lot of self-storage facilities do wine storage, so I thought that I'd do wine storage, and then I came up with the Vino label. Then I was telling the local Ferrari dealer about it, and he got a hold of me and he says, "Hey, you got to get together with these other guys. They want to do a winery in cars." So I got together, met Bob, and we were negotiating a lease here. And Bob's a better salesman than I am, because he ended up selling part of the winery to me.
And apparently you started by buying a couple tons of grapes, or how did that work?
Oh, that's for our new Vino label, but we were down looking at some grapes in a vineyard in Corralitos, and the gentleman had some Italian varietals. So I had looked at that and expressed an interest, and Bob says, "Well, should we buy some?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And so they talked about a couple tons, and it sounded like fun to me. And then Bob said, "Now, of course, if this doesn't go through, the deal doesn't go through," this was before I had bought into the winery, he said, "You're going to get all the wine." So I said, "Well, how much does 2 tons make?" And roughly 100 cases. So I figured, well, I could drink it before it goes bad. So there we are.
So, Brian, you obviously are the expert at making the wine. How long have you been with Woodside Vineyards?
Woodside Vineyards, I've been there for 23 years now.
Oh, my gosh.
And we make everything here at the facility. All grapes are hand-picked, and the wines are handcrafted. Traditional techniques, and it shows in the wine quality.
So you have some award winners. Why don't you tell us about those? Which ones are you proudest of?
Geez, you know, most of the wines that we enter do get some type of award, and it's hard to keep track of which ones are my favorite because it changes with the season. But I'm very fond of our Pinot Noir. It's very nice. It's very Burgundian in style. The Cabernet is nice, clean flavors. Everything grown in Woodside is really of high quality, so it makes my job easy. Grown here in this climate, we're a cool region, and the wines come out real nice. And of course, I'm very proud of La Cuesta. La Cuesta comes exclusively from La Cuesta grapes, and it's a very distinctive Cabernet from vines that are extremely old and just a truly unique wine that deserves, always gets high accolades.
Right. And you distribute to restaurants, do you not?
Yes,
Okay.
distributes to restaurants in the area, mostly primarily the local restaurants in the area.
Right.
We like to visit the restaurants and eat at the restaurants that we supply.
Of course.
And it works out real nice.
And you have a wine club, so people are able to sign up for that. They'll see the website at the end. Let's come back to the facility for a minute, Buff, if we may. Is it true that you're not open to the public, are you?
We don't keep people out. If someone comes in, we'll give them a
I
guided
see.
tour.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
But traditionally, it's private events that you would hold?
Well,
here? Tell
it's
us a little
wine
bit.
tastings, and then the cars are a backdrop. But everything we do here is a wine tasting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no particular hours for the public in terms of wine tasting and looking at the cars?
We're open on weekends.
Okay, great.
And then Thursday nights also for wine
Great.
tasting.
And then there was something I saw, something new you're doing that has to do with a happy hour or at lunchtime? Or...
Yeah, we'll bring in this pizza oven, a mobile wood-burning pizza oven. So then there's some hamburgers cooked in a 900-degree pizza oven is fantastic. But obviously the wood-fired pizza done in the Italian style is excellent. We have a great chef who runs it.
And then you help people pair the wines with the food?
Absolutely.
Good,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much. This is an amazing place, and I hope all of our viewers get to come and see it and experience it firsthand, as well as your wine. Thank you.
Thanks, Ann.
Thank you.
Thanks.